the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Welcome to Klein Tours, Trips, and Tips. I'm Allison Klein-Sherman, and I'm so excited to be joined here today with Dory Schenkel from Broadway Inbound and Michael Watson, who is a director and playwright. And I'm excited to hear about all of the wonderful shows there are in New York City and all of the information that you have to share with us about Broadway.
We brought lots of information. We have lots of things to tell you about today.
Okay, great. Tell me, what makes a Broadway show different than another experience, like going to see a movie in a theater, so seeing a live production as opposed to a filmed production?
Well, can I answer that?
Please do.
Well, I think there's nothing like a live performance. I mean, we're living in the age of computers and cell phones and anything to distract us from each other, you know? And I think that Broadway, when you see live performers up there, there's this shared experience between the live performers and the audience. And there's nothing like it when the house lights come down and the orchestra starts up. Or the curtain rises if it's a straight play. Do you know what I mean by a straight play, the difference between a musical and a straight play?
I do. Why don't you tell us about that?
When we say straight play, sometimes it's referred to as a legit play. That means it has no music, and a musical, of course, has music with a book and that sort of thing. Yeah, but there's nothing like it. Do you want to add anything to that, Dory?
I just think that the whole anticipation of going to the Broadway show, the excitement of New York City, the pulse, just the feeling, and then coming into the theater and the audience participation, or I should say reactions, and you know, you're a part of it, watching with the audience, people crying or laughing or cheering, and you're a participant in that of sorts, and then watching the actors on stage. And because it is live theater, you never know what's going to happen from day to day. I remember going to see Spider-Man one time, and they had problems with one of the things that was when Spider-Man was flying, and it got stuck. and he was dangling over the orchestra.
Well, we hope that that doesn't happen when we go see a
But
show,
you
right?
never,
But
you never know what's
there's
going
no
to
editing.
happen.
There's no
Right.
editing.
That's
No
just-
commercial breaks. Yeah.
It's an example of how it's really a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Absolutely.
Because if you go back and see the same show again, it's not going to be the exact same experience.
Never.
There may be
Each
a
performance is different.
actor
Yeah.
portraying one of the characters. There may be something different that happens on the set. I've thoroughly enjoyed all of my experiences on Broadway.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was in some shows, local theater,
Yeah.
participated. I did backstage work and was on the stage for some, and it's really an awesome experience to participate in and also to see a production like that and realize and understand everything that goes into it.
Well, every performance is different because every moment we have is different. Everything's moment to moment, and that's what's so exciting, you know? Nothing's planned.
Yeah.
Well, it is
Well,
planned, it's
yeah.
rehearsed, of course,
Right.
but in the moment, you never know what's going to happen, as Dory said.
And you,
know?
you go with it, and you,
Yeah, you go
work
with
it
it.
out, and you make it the
Yeah.
best production it can be for that day. That's
Yeah.
great.
And
Right.
you can get goosebumps from it, you know? Yeah.
So what are some of the most popular shows right now on Broadway?
Well, Phantom of the Opera, of course, has become a classic. It's been on Broadway now for 25 years. Pretty amazing, huh? I saw the original production when it's still the original show on Broadway, but I saw it when it first opened, and it still is exciting and incredible to see. I just saw it several months ago. I saw it about 3 months ago, and it's still fresh and as exciting as it was 25 years ago. Yeah, so that's
Fantastic
one.
one.
So yeah, I still love going to see that. Les Mis is back on Broadway, Les Miserables, and then there's Kinky Boots, which is a lot of fun. A lot
Oh,
of
that's
fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites last year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you come out, singing and dancing, and you feel really great when about everything, about life, and it's about being who you are. Kinky Boots is.
Okay.
And then there's, well, of course, Lion King, which is still such a family show.
Yeah.
And people love it.
And that's one to see, you can see the movie.
But you can see it over and
Lion
over
King,
again. Yeah.
And then you go to the theater and you
Yeah.
see this production of it, and it's amazing to see how they've created costumes for all of the characters in
Oh.
it, and the elaborate costumes that they
Yeah.
have, and how they make it work, and that was fascinating to me when I saw that show.
Well, Julie Taymor, I mean, she got the Tony for direction, and Julie Taymor is extraordinary, and what she did with Lion King was amazing. Yeah, it's something to see over and over and over. That opening number is exhilarating when those animals are coming down to the audience. You just go, wow, it's pretty amazing.
Right, and I think you get lost in it too because you're watching it and you look past the fact that there are people in operating the puppets and then
Oh, yeah.
it becomes the animal and it's just wonderful.
You
Just
go
such a neat
escape into
experience.
that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Wicked, of course, that and Wicked is for everybody. I think it's it's not just for young girls. I've heard that several times, but it's for everybody. I mean, everybody. All of my friends who've gone and seen it, they just love it. Yeah. So those are the ones that have been staples of Broadway for quite some time. And then we have our new shows, Something Rotten, which is hysterical.
Oh, it is. It is so
Yeah.
funny. Even though it was set in the 1500s during Shakespeare's time, it is so funny and so tongue-in-cheek, and there's lots of references to modern-day musicals.
It's
And
a modern day take on Shakespeare's times. It's very funny. It's very funny.
Shakespeare
That's
is a
very
rock star,
funny. Yeah,
it is
He's
so
literally
funny.
a rock star, yeah.
Oh,
And he
wow.
stands on the stage and he moves like Elvis Presley would have moved.
Yeah.
And it's just so
Very funny.
funny. And the music is great.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought it was so clever. really
Yeah.
enjoyed that a lot.
And then there's another stunning production, The King and I. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful to see. And it's beautifully directed. I loved it. And Kelly O'Hara is just stunning and magnificent. So.
And the costumes and the music. I mean, Rodgers and Hammerstein,
Yeah.
it's a classic.
Incredible
and
story.
The music is so wonderful. And
Yeah.
the story is just a timeless story, and I think the message that it is giving to us is important too. So it's a great, great show.
Yeah.
What about An American in
In
Paris?
Paris?
Yeah.
It got the Tony Award for Best Choreography. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It's very romantic. It would be a good one to take for an anniversary or
Okay.
a first date would be a pretty wonderful date, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
impressive.
then you have to top that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the dance segments in An American in Paris is wonderful. When I was watching it, I was just waiting for Gene Kelly to pop out on stage any minute. But it has not only the beautiful ballet,
Yeah.
where the main character, she floats on the stage, and she's just so graceful.
Yeah.
And then there's the more modern day dance segments as well. So it combines all different kinds of dance styles, and it was just really very, very beautiful to watch.
It is. Robert McFarland is a stunning performer also. He does a great job, and yeah, it's a great
It's
night.
a neat thing about Broadway shows too. There's so many different types of talent on the stage that you get to experience, like you're saying about the modern dance and the ballet and the singing and seeing the talent that these actors and actresses have is just amazing to experience that firsthand.
We have a wealth of
yeah.
talent in this country, and it's so good to see that on Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It keeps getting, in my experience, the talent keeps getting better and better. I mean, guys in my generation, we didn't start dancing, or at least I didn't start dancing until I was 19 or 20. Now they start at 7 or 5. Sometimes they start at 5 years old, and you can see it in their technique.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
So that kind of leads me, what is it like to be an actor on Broadway now? What do you do to
Wonderful.
prepare
What do you mean?
yourself? What do you do to prepare yourself
Yeah.
to get that role that you're really looking forward to or you're auditioning for? And then once you have that role, what is the practice schedule like and the show schedule? What is the life of an actor on Broadway?
Well, first of all, you do 8 shows a week. So,
Busy schedule.
I'm sorry?
I said, that's a busy schedule.
Oh, it is. I mean, when you think about it, 8 shows a week. So you don't just sit in bed and eat bonbons right before your show. You know, you have to prepare for that. And usually a working actor also has a lot of other jobs he has to deal with, as far as finding another job, finding that next show, because your show's always going to close one day. So you're always looking for that next show. So you have to go and audition. So you have a day of auditioning. You may have a television show that you have to, like The Good Wife films in New York, that you go and film that during the day, and then you do the show at night, preparing for that show. You know, you usually don't eat till, you eat maybe at 4 o'clock. Not too late, not too early. And then you have to be at the theater. Well, you have to be at the theater a half hour before the show. But usually you get there an hour before the theater and you warm up. But to get to Broadway, you need to go to school. A lot of kids ask me that. And yeah, some people have natural talent. Some people, you know, it's inside of them. But that's rare. Yeah, so you have to, you got to go to school. I think you got to go to college.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate of college.
Well, and you talked about the dance lessons starting early
yeah.
on, voice lessons, I would imagine.
Yes.
And
Well,
And
that's
I'm
what
sure
I would,
that doesn't
yeah.
end when you get that first show.
Right.
Or
Well,
that
just
first casting.
when you're watching the actors, there's a lot of, you have to physically be in shape and train every day. It's just like an athlete.
You have to do everything.
And
In show business today,
constantly
you have to
stay there.
Yeah, you have to be an actor, you have to sing, you have to dance, you have to do it all. You have to be triple threats.
Yeah.
And that changed with the chorus line. Chorus line, the singing chorus and the dancing chorus and then the actors, they were separated. And then chorus line came along and everybody had to do everything. And so now everybody has to do everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you got to do as much as you can, and you continue to train. A lot of people on Broadway are still they take acting classes during the day. They do scene study, and I know I did. Sometimes I did 3 dance classes a day when I first started out. Yeah.
Oh.
Plus vocal coaching. It takes a lot of work.
Not an easy job.
No, well, what is?
Yeah,
If
right.
you're going to do it right, you're going to love what you're doing.
So now when a new show is coming to Broadway,
Yeah.
and they have the cast set, how long does it take from the casting until the show is ready for the audience to come in and enjoy it?
Well, the casting process can take up to a year,
Wow.
depending on the show. So that can be a while, and people's availability, the stars, say the stars' availability, if there is a star in the show, scheduling, can take a year to just cast the show. Now, before that, the book writers and the lyricists and the music, the composer, and the playwright. Say, when I'm working on a play, it can take me 2 to 3 to 4 years to finish the play.
Yeah.
Then you have a bunch of readings and workshops, and that's another 2 years. So now we're up to 6 years.
Wow.
And then a producer comes in and says, I want to produce this. They have to raise the money. So that could be another year or 2 years. So now we're up to 8 years just to get a production up. Yeah, sometimes it takes 10 years.
Yeah, and then too, it depends on when a theater becomes available, because a
Right.
lot of shows are waiting in the wings, they're ready to go,
Yeah.
but a theater is not available in New York, so
And we were
that
just
is
talking
also...
about that this morning, yeah, because a lot of shows are now, it used to be a hit was 2 years. If you ran on Broadway for 2 years, now a hit is 10 years and above,
Standards are changing
The standards are
constantly.
changing because it's
Yeah.
so expensive to do a Broadway show, millions and millions and millions of dollars. But from your question about how long does it take once it's cast and they start rehearsals, for a play you would probably have a month,
Okay.
4 weeks of rehearsal. For a musical you have 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then you have 2 weeks of tech inside
Okay.
the theater. Then you go into the theater. And then you have, the show starts and then you have previews. And previews are before the show officially opens with critics. But those previews are shows and performances.
A full audience.
Yeah.
And
And that's exciting because it can change nightly. And actually it does change nightly. The show, you can have a whole new script.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's
By the
when you
time it
kinda
officially
work those
opens.
little kinks
Uh-huh.
out here and there.
Absolutely.
Or big kinks.
Yeah. So what's the difference between an off-Broadway show and a Broadway show?
I feel like I'm talking so much, Dory.
No,
Is that all right?
please.
But an off-Broadway show, well, the difference is an off-Broadway show is much more intimate. I keep scratching on this. It's much more intimate and much more a smaller house.
Okay.
Basically, what divides Broadway and off-Broadway is an off-Broadway house is 500 and below,
Okay.
and a Broadway house is 500 and above. So,
Okay.
so that's what divides it. But sometimes you like with the play, you want it to be in an off-Broadway house because it's more intimate, and sometimes plays work better off-Broadway. Sometimes they work better on Broadway. It's amazing because it's a whole different ballgame. and it's just the size of the house.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
a musical usually is on Broadway, but some musicals are off Broadway and should stay off Broadway, not because they're less than, but
Right.
because of the size of it and the music. You know.
So it doesn't really have to do with location as far as
No.
the street in the city, and it doesn't have to
No.
do with the quality of the production. It
No.
has to do with the size of the house
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
being shown in.
basically.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, you have a
Okay.
lot of stars doing off-Broadway.
Yeah.
A lot of stars do off-Broadway, and they can and they can afford it, you know. More, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for all that insight. So Dory, we have a great working relationship with you at Kleins and with Broadway Inbound, and it's been wonderful for us to be able to offer the opportunity of seeing Broadway shows to our customers. We have buses going in, motor coaches going into New York City every Saturday and the third Wednesday of every month. And we're able to give our customers the opportunity to contact us and get fantastic seats for shows at a great price through working with you at Broadway Inbound. And we're so thankful for that relationship and so thankful that you were able to come and join us here today. Tell us how it works with you and the seating, where the seats are located in the theater that we typically can get, and how we get that great price for our customers.
All right. Well, we're one of the only companies that have negotiated rates for individual ticketing that we can offer to you and to your clients. And when a person calls you for availability, our system can generally show you availability for a particular performance, whether it's sold out or if it's getting very sold out or close to being sold out, or if it's available with no problem. And what's great is that you can place the reservation right then and there in the person's name, request the tickets needed, and we generally are able to sell orchestra and front mezzanine seating, which is the
And
top,
those are
most popular
fantastic
seats.
seats.
Yeah.
Now, there are a few
Excellent.
shows that are also offering mezzanine and balcony seating for us, so that you have an option and a price option to offer to your clients. But traditionally, it's been orchestra, front mezzanine seating. And it is automatic. When the reservation goes in, the systems look for best available at the time of purchase. So generally, you're getting what is the best available at the time you're making the reservation.
Right.
And let me point out, it's always good to plan in advance, because if you wait till the last minute, the show that you really want to see might be sold out, especially if it's a very, very popular show.
Yeah.
And with so many new shows opening now, we've just got such a great, exciting season with such a variety of things. I'm sure that there are people that want to see a specific show, and so you don't want to take the chance
Right.
of not being able to get a ticket.
But you
So.
do offer a wide array of
Yes.
shows. So if that top choice is not available, have a backup
That's
in
right.
mind if you're planning on coming into the city.
Absolutely.
Because we'll be able to help you with many, many different shows.
Right. Well, there's such a variety and so many wonderful shows to choose from, and just some of the ones that are opening now as the season gets in full start, as School of Rock, which I'm actually getting ready to see next week. I'm very excited about that. And On Your Feet, which is the story of Gloria Estefan and her husband Emilio, which is such an exciting, high-energy show. So if you like that kind of thing, that's great. Some
All
of
my
the other
friends
ones-
have loved it.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping to see it next week. But they love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
People in the audience, they get on their feet.
Yeah.
Really, literally get on their feet and are clapping
Wow.
and singing along. And the other one that's opening, we've got 2 revivals that are starting up. The Color Purple.
With Jennifer Hudson.
Right,
Yeah.
that'll be starting soon. And then Fiddler on the Roof, which is a classic,
yeah.
classic, but it's got a very famous director that's
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So,
He's excellent. He directed The King and I.
so it is going to be of that caliber, and it's just such a wonderful classic show with such wonderful music.
Yeah.
I'm really looking
And
forward
Danny
to seeing
Burstein
that.
is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He's dearly loved, not just very, he's dearly loved on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
He's so multi-talented, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he's one of those that can do it all.
Mm-hmm. So there's a wide variety of things,
Yeah.
and you can help guide people into the kind of show that they would enjoy.
That's what I was going to say. You're so good, Dory, at sending our office. We're constantly getting emails from you with information about the shows that are coming and the awards that the shows are receiving, so that we're all up to date in our office about what the offerings are, and we can share that information with our customers, and we're so thankful for that. So really, like we talked about, a trip to New York City and that experience of Broadway and experiencing that amazing city, it's such a great opportunity, and it's an experience and a memory for you to make with your friends and your family. And it's a great gift option. We offer at Kleins, we offer gift certificates, so you can purchase that as a gift for like you said, anniversaries, for birthdays,
It's a great birthday
holidays.
gift. Oh my gosh.
When we were talking earlier, you said there's only so many sweaters that a person can have.
Right.
So that's a great opportunity. Or you can just call our office and schedule your family to go, or you and your friends to go on that trip. You can make your reservations online and take advantage of our online booking discount. And or you can call in and make your reservations, and when you're scheduling your tickets for Broadway shows with us, you want to call our office and talk to our sales representatives, and we'll help you pick that great show with that information that they provide for us from Broadway Inbound. And we're so excited to be able to share Broadway with you, and we hope that you take advantage of this. So our tip for today is make sure you call Kleins when you're looking to go to New York City and experience Broadway. We can really help you make it the best experience that it can be. So thank you so much for joining us today for Trips and Tips. I'm Allison Klein Sherman. Have
Thank
a great
you.
day.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so
Allison.
much for joining me.
Thank
For
you.
having us.